Okay, people are spending thousands on the craziest gadgets. Let's see if they're actually worth it.
Now, I would guess that a lunchbox isn't what you'd normally associate with luxury. You kind of imagine Jeff Bezos has his meal hunted fresh in front of him when he hits his lunch break. But if you were to use one, it would be the $300 Steambox. Because this steams your food when you're ready to eat. So I started the steaming 20 minutes ago. You just empty this water container into the heating base and then control it using the app on your phone.
And it has just finished. Whoa, you weren't kidding about the steam.
Freaking hot. Like, actually surprisingly hot. But when we're talking about the ability to reheat your lunch, that is a very good thing. I'm really curious how this compares to just reheating in a microwave. Oh wow, it actually has that "this was just cooked right now" feeling to it.
Woo. That's amazing.
It's completely evenly heated. The meat hasn't gone super firm. They kind of cooked with this one. I mean, clearly, this is a niche product. Because you got to fit a battery and a water tank and a heater, the actual space you're getting for your food isn't massive. And most offices will have microwaves anyway that do most of the same job. But if you're somewhere that doesn't, I would way rather have this than a soggy, cold sandwich that's been in my pocket all day.
Steambox Lunchbox, $299. Next, a self-heating lunchbox, the Steambox. Imagine telling your coworker, "Hold up, my lunch needs to charge." Honestly though, I kinda want it.
And so I am fascinated to see if $365 can buy you something even better. I mean, I'll give it this, it is definitely a more indulgent unboxing experience. It comes with its own real leather mouse mat, and then the mouse, which completely matches it. It's a lot of space for such a small product, but I guess that makes it feel even more exclusive. Whoa, the thing's freezing cold to the touch. Which is thanks to its gold tone plated solid aluminium. Is that just like the most elaborate way of saying it's not actually gold? Send it back.
I do really like the way it looks though.
This is full grain French calf leather on top. I feel like there's a direct correlation between how much you're being charged for something and how many words are used to describe its leather.
It's actually a little bit strange to hold. The mouse is completely symmetrical, which is good in the sense that you can use it with your left hand or your right hand, doesn't matter. But kind of makes it a little awkward to use with both for me. It just doesn't cup your hand in the same way that something tailored for that hand would. So if I go to here, Logitech have absolutely mastered the shape, but also every click is cushioned and soft touch, and there's even haptic feedback baked into this. Whereas this Lunar Artefacts mouse feels like it's kind of material above all else. This is the only way that my fingers naturally fall on the mouse, and it doesn't feel right. Also, it's pretty clear the difference in usability between the really expensive fancy mouse mat and the actually $9.99 one from Amazon. I mean, this cheap one is bigger, it's less scratchy, and it also doesn't rock when I move the mouse around. Now, this thing does have a couple of nice tricks to it, like you can swap this top section for any other color, and you can even stick it on a Qi charging mat to wirelessly charge it, which is absolutely amazing. Does it make it a better mouse? No, this is the logical choice.
I kinda want it. Lunar Artefacts mouse, $365. This mouse looks like it was designed for astronauts. Sleek, black, minimal, but $365? That's a whole gaming console.
It feels more fitting than the $759 Novium Hoverpen Future. Good to see that at the very least they provide the ink. And then this is the pen itself. So there's a couple of unique things about this guy. The first is that it's convertible. So this is the fountain nib. Let's open up my dream journal. You do have to clutch it a little harder than I'd like because it's really heavy at the back. And it's kind of smooth, but not completely. There is still some drag against the paper. But then I can also swap the fountain nib for the rollerball. Ooh, I think I like this better. It's smoother than the fountain. But then again, that's a bit of a weird one because this is just using a very standard generic cartridge that you can buy for not a lot of money at all. So not that impressed so far. But then you've got the maglev pedestal. So your pen goes into the middle there, and then it just holds. Can I spin it? Wow, that's really cool. I've messed around with quite a few levitation devices in the past, and they're always extremely finicky. This, surprisingly, isn't. It has quite a large sweet spot and is fairly stable. Oh, I also like the fact that this is not an electromagnet, so it doesn't need any power at all to keep holding your pen like this. That is actually scratching up the base pretty badly, considering I've barely used it right now. The biggest thing that is making this version of the pen $759 instead of more like $170 is the nib. This is an 18-karat solid gold nib. And it is very pretty, but I really feel like instead of having a pen for which 80% of its worth is concentrated in the tip, they should have put that money into just making the rest of the pen feel more premium. Like, this lid is far too squeaky for a pen that costs as much as a flagship smartphone, and it shouldn't be getting damaged when you're using it for its intended purpose.
Novium Hoverpen Future, $759. First up, a pen that hovers. Yes, literally levitates. For $759, this thing better write my thesis and sign my future house papers.
But speaking of products that are often mega expensive just for the sake of flexing, we got shoes. Except the $900 Nike Hyperboots should actually do something to back up that diabolical price tag. Now, to my slight disappointment, that thing is not fly around the city saving humanity like Astro Boy, but they do apply compression and heat to aid your foot recovery. Oh, these are also really comfy. They fit like a glove, but then also really squeaky too. Kind of sounds like they're wet. Now, hold down the power buttons, and that's going to kick into max heat and max compression. And in theory, I can just be standing around, going about my day while that's happening. Whoa. Okay, a couple of very immediate thoughts. It's a lot louder than I was expecting, but it's also a lot more powerful than I was expecting. I had this idea in my mind that it would be like going to a foot spa, but my feet are getting crushed in a good way. And it is boiling hot. My skin feels right on the periphery of getting singed. I've actually started playing football once every couple of weeks, and my feet come back a wreck. It really does feel like 15 minutes of this a day is going to burn them back into place. You can turn it down. I'm doing this to myself, technically. The only thing that's missing is it doesn't have coverage of this top foot area here. Everything else is being very thoroughly compressed. I love the fact that luxury here is actually buying me convenience. The fact that you could just be walking or cooking or working and having that recovery is amazing. I would actually use this around the house instead of a pair of sliders.
Nike Hyperboots, $899. Wait, $899 for boots? Are these gonna make me run faster, jump higher, or maybe take me to the moon? They look futuristic, I'll give them that.
A pretty extreme way to spend your hard-earned $900 though. The Grams 28 152 transit bag. I must have been through 30 of the top-rated backpacks at this point, trying to find the perfect ones to recommend in my EDC videos. But value has always been a key factor there. So it'll be interesting to see what a bag that doesn't have that limitation looks like. I would like to make a statement. I'm in love with this bag. It feels so phenomenally premium to like touch, to squish. Like these shoulder straps, they feel like a stress toy. There's not a single bit of rustling on the inside. It's almost like they've got a gel interior. And the entire thing, everything you can see is 100% Italian leather. So it's also really durable. The thing I would say I like about this the most is that this is not a big bag. It's actually the opposite of bulky, but they've just planned it out in such an intelligent way that there's space for everything. Like, first of all, it opens up completely flat, which I love to see in backpacks because it allows you to pack it fully like a suitcase. It actually comes with a packing cube that has an extra zip that you close to tighten it. So you can viably pack a weekend's worth of clothing in here. There's these optional camera bags. And again, they've just really thought about how it fits together. Like, there's actually a designated Velcro section on the bottom of this bag that these just attach onto. I can't think of a single box that it doesn't tick. You can still fit a 16-inch laptop in the back. You can stick your passport in the secret compartment over here. You can put your sunglasses for easy access here, and the felt inside will clean them if anything. It's got an elasticated suitcase pass-through flap, so you don't even need to carry it when you're going through an airport. There's even this tiny little secret pouch on the inside designed for an AirTag. So functionally, it doesn't really do anything extra compared to the $300 bag that I use that is already premium priced. So I wouldn't call this Grams 28 bag good value, but is this a way for someone who wants to spend a lot more to be able to use that money to get something that is even better? Something that keeps all the functionality, but now with top shelf materials, with a much cleaner silhouette, and even a lifetime warranty? I would say yes. I would say this is like dream bag territory. You do not need it, but I would totally understand wanting it.
Grams 28 152 backpack, $899. And finally, an $899 backpack. Unless it comes with Wi-Fi, a power bank, and a personal assistant inside, I'm out. So yeah, apparently the future is very expensive. Which one would you actually buy? Be honest!